Hey everyone, welcome to this video. We're going to talk about unconditional love today. I feel like this will be a great message to see if you are operating and embodying the state of unconditional love. Do you love yourself for who you are, for your whole journey, the good and the bad, and for where you are now? Do you love others for who they are and who they want to be without conditions? And you don't necessarily have to be around them all the time. You can love people far away, but do you love people for who they are, their roles, their journeys? You may not like them, but do you see through a state of unconditional love through your eyes to the world? Ask yourself that question. I'm always going around, oh, I love you to strangers, like my clients, they'll leave me and I'll be like, I love you. I hope you have a great day. They probably think I'm crazy. I'm always spreading love and, I heart everything most of the time on social media. And I am just a really, really loving person. And I ask myself questions sometimes that people will give me these looks, and I forget that a lot of people, they are not in that perspective. They don't view life like that or the world like that. And it may be because they didn't learn, or just in general, they just don't view life like that. And for me, even my enemies, I have learned to forgive and love them. I may not like what they've done to me, like, people coming against me, even my haters, but I still understand their role and I still understand why things are the way they are. So I still love them, even in their bad roles, even in obstacles in life, in my own life. I had to learn how to love myself when I failed, when I didn't show up in my best version of myself. I had to learn to let all that go, let the guilt go, the judgment, and show back up and start again and really learn how to love myself for who I am, for my journey, and for the good and the bad too. That was one of my biggest lessons in my life, is learning how to love me, because it's very natural for me to love everybody else and to give that love out, but it wasn't really natural for me to receive it, or I just don't need it because I'm already full of love. I'm just like a loving person, so I don't necessarily need it, but sometimes I actually do. I subconsciously do, and I just consciously push it away. So it's really good to learn how to receive love too, even if you embody love. And sometimes you may not be in a high vibration and embodying that love, and you just need that uplifting sometimes because you're not perfect, you're human. So it's good to be able to receive love as well, because it might feel abnormal, uncomfortable. But ask yourself that question today. Do you really love yourself and others for who they are? Or do you love people for who you want them to be? Are you always trying to change somebody? Are you always trying to be perfect for yourself? Because if you're striving for perfection, it's going to feel heavy, and that's not love. Love is light. So ask yourself, are you seeing things through the lens of unconditional love? And if for example, if you have a relationship with somebody, no matter what it is, and it's a friendship, and maybe you want more and they don't want more, do you still love them when they don't want you back? Do you still love people when you're not getting what you want back? Do you love them for who they are? Those are questions that we really got to ask ourselves, and when we show up in the world. Because if we don't love ourselves, we're obviously not going to show up and embody love. But will show up in this depleted manner, in this, we just feel heavy, or we're constantly rushing and we're constantly on the go. And we think that we're giving out love, but really our vibration's low and we are feeling heavy, so we can't be embodying love. So we just got to remind ourselves, we got to do self-love, self-care, lighten up our energy so that we are in a light state and we are showing up in a loving way, in a loving manner, because it's the highest vibration out there. It's the best part about life, is being in love with yourself and being in love with life and being in love with everything around you, for the good and the bad. So I want you to ask yourself, when you look at your past, can you start loving the good and the bad? The people in your life, no matter what role they're playing, can you love the good and the bad? Can you love people for who they are? Not for what they give you, not for what you need from them. That's what you ask your questions. You love people no matter what, even if you don't get what you need or deserve or whatever you're thinking. Maybe you're thinking wrong. That's why it doesn't feel good. Love people for who they are and how they want to show up in the world, whether it's good or bad, whether it's for your journey or not. Because sometimes if you don't do that, you'll miss your blessings and your gifts right in front of you. And love comes in different forms. It doesn't have to be romantic. Sometimes people will pretend to be my friend, and I am genuinely coming from a genuine loving place, but they'll want more, and I just want to be friends, but I know it feels like a rejection for them, and they might, react in a way that they don't want to be my friend, or, just upset, which is fine. But what if you could have a really good friend in your life and you're looking at it all wrong, because you're always looking for love and you need love from somebody, but can't you just show up and just love them, love the connection, and not need anything from them? That's what you want to ask yourself, is when you are in a relationship with somebody, no matter what form it is, always be grateful for that unconditional love if that person gives that. No matter what, always be grateful for that. Because having pure unconditional love energy, it's very rare. I don't meet very many people who are, have big hearts, but they're full of love. Okay, they might have big hearts, but they're full of density. You know what I mean? They're full of their darkness still. They're wrapped up in the matrix, the illusion still. Doesn't mean they don't have a big heart. They do, but that doesn't mean they embody full unconditional love. So you have to ask yourself, there are different forms of love that the universe, God, source, higher power sends to you. Are you seeing it? Are you really being grateful for the gift of love that does come into your life, but it just might be a different form? Even as a healer, people be praying for healing. I'll be sent. Like, hey, God sent me. No, I don't say that. I'll reach out, and sometimes even before I didn't even realize, but I'm reaching out because I love what I do, the service and my abilities and my purpose in life. And I love people and I really want to help them. I don't reach out to them because I need money or I need a client or I need it for my business. I don't even care about any of that. If I did, I wouldn't be running my business and I wouldn't be a healer. I'm reaching out because out of the kindness of my heart, out of pure love. But some people don't take it as that, and they think that it should come in a certain form, and they'll miss their gift. They'll completely miss their gift. And I was right there trying to help them. And I know the answers. I work with a higher power. But people expect, love or healing They expect things to come in a certain way, and they'll miss their gifts and their blessings. And I had to learn that too. That's why I'm teaching you that. So if we open our eyes from a perspective of unconditional love, we start receiving our blessings and our gifts that we missed or that we just kept blocking because we weren't embodying true unconditional love, which is loving yourself for the good and the bad, loving earth, life, loving people for who they are. And you trust that everything's happening for a better good, for a higher purpose. And you understand why everything is the way that it is. And if you don't, you understand there's a reason for everything. And you still stay connected to that frequency of love. We're not spreading hate, violence, control, judgment. We're not doing any of that. We're just vibing in our unconditional love. We know everything's happening for a reason. And we send out a lot of love and compassion and strength for people who have hard lessons and a hard journey. But we understand everybody has free will. Everybody has picked their journeys to learn lessons for their soul evolution. And they have to go through their journey. And yes, it's hard, but they have that light, that power within them as well. And we just plant those seeds of light when necessary. And we remember that about our journey. And that's how we raise to that unconditional love and remembrance of, oh, this is all happening the way it's supposed to. It's all fine. You can love people far away. You don't necessarily have to be around them. You can still love them though. There's a lot of people I love that I don't let them in my energy, but it doesn't mean I don't love them. It just means, I'm not strong enough to uphold your energy that you're bringing around to me. It's not, there's nothing negative about it. It's just for my higher good. So it's okay to make boundaries even with people that you love. And it's okay to make boundaries, with things that feel off, heavy, toxic, if you need to stay around it and you just send love out. But most importantly, we embody love. We are broadcasting love so that we are sending that signal out to the universe and we're getting that back in our life. It's good karma. We stay in a high vibration. We don't get sick. We stay healthy, balanced, peace, and light. And our goal is to keep our bodies light. So unconditional love is a great lesson and message for you to dive deep in to yourself, do some self-reflection, and see what it's teaching you in your life. See what you're learning about unconditional love and see how you can implement it and apply it in your life. Okay, I'll see you next video.